All right, hello guys. For those of you who are watching or interested in the production side of things, I started to make a beat, and I got my general idea down. I'm not completely finished with it, but we're getting there. But I was in the back of my head, I was like, it's a perfect time to kind of show you guys like a little bit of how it works, and possibly now that I'm thinking clearly, I can just make a whole nother separate video, going from start to finish with a beat. So, whenever I'm starting out making beats, I use, let me open it up over here. I use this website called Looperman. And they have, loops that you can use for your beats. And basically, these loops have the main instrument down in the beat. So you can go in here and you can, search specific keywords or whatnot for whatever type of genre you're going for. So I'm going for hip hop today. So if you go through, you can kind of see like some of these are loops. So like, I'll play one. Cool little guitar right there, and you can add on to it. So it's like you bring this over into your song or your beat and you mix it up and change a little bit. So like a fairly simple string loop, or here's like a simple piano. So the one I chose for today is this one right here. I chose this loop, and I'm gonna bring it into my beat and then change it around a little bit. So this is what it sounds like. So this is how almost everybody starts off a beat, is by using a loop. And then they make it their own, make adjustments, small adjustments that make it theirs. So what you do is you just download that, and then you drag it over. You drag over the MP3 file, and it will look like this. So these different colors here are me tweaking this loop. So this is what the loop sounds like, just, you dragging it over. But I can make it mine by EQing the loop. So EQing is where you cut out specific sounds or make specific sounds louder, which I'll get into that a different day. It's kind of hard to explain, but basically, I can make a melody out of this loop by adding a pitch down below it and lowering the volume just a bit to add a melody. So if you listen to just this, then I'll bring this over here, and you can listen to it with the deeper version. Very subtle. For those of you that are listening closely, you'll hear it. But then you can go even farther and add a pitch higher. So here's the lower one once again. Then you add in a nice, subtle, very high-pitched one, and then you lower the volume by about half, and then it'll sound like this. So, electronically, I'm creating 3 different people playing the same instrument, but just at, different pitches. So which creates a melody. I'll try and explain how I kind of made this beat. So normally with a beat, I start with the melody. So with another instrument, which I used this instrument. Kind of dreamy piano. But today I decided to go with the kick. So I created the kick. I'll create a new pattern real quick, and I'll just copy and paste everything from the first pattern. So let me just do that so it saves. We'll open this, we'll copy the kick over. So then what I did, we'll put the pattern 2 over here. Go right here. So then I created the kick, and I was going for like a bum, 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 bump up. I felt like that would go good with the song, so. So whenever I'm making a beat, I'll go for the bum, 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 right? But you can see I didn't do that all the way through, because what happens is, once I make that and then I add in the snare will overlap some of these kicks. It'll overlap, so then I'll wind up deleting them. So then when you add in the snare, I added in a snare, and I was like, okay, I wanted to make a little subtle snare. I didn't want it to be, all over the place. So it's very simple. Just add in the snare, and so like I'll add in the snare manually right now. So all these little dots right here, so this whole line right here is the snare. This is the snare right here. So these is just where you make your patterns, and the reason why some of them are blue and red is to just, the blue would be on beat and the red would be off beat. So basically, you know, you just add in your snare. Boom, that's the snare. And then you go in and add the hi-hats. Once again, I'll try to do these normally. So whenever you're adding in the hi-hats, usually depending on how fast paced your beat is, you'll fill it in 2 steps, so it'll automatically fill in this whole line for you for snares. Okay, well that's the rim shot, not the snare, my bad. Boom. Or you can have it every 4 steps. Or every 8 steps. Depending on, and it changes kind of the flow of the song. So we're gonna go with 2 steps because it's fastest. What you do is you can go in here in the piano roll and adjust these. So I kind of want to make this song dreamy, sort of. I called it Autumn. That's what I want to call it. I don't know why. I mean, it's close to fall, and I don't know. I just see some leaves falling off trees. So basically, what I want to do is this is the velocity, which is also known as the volume. So if I turn this all the way down in some parts, you can just see that it makes no sound. So I kind of want to make it a little bit wavy. So what I'm going to do is I'm literally going to make the velocity wavy. And what that does is it kind of creates a weird sound where it sounds like the hi-hat is slowly fading in and out to kind of give it that dreamy sound. So we'll listen to that. It's very subtle. It's a lot of subtle things that, you know, make a beat and roll it all together. So like, so there's a snare right here, right where I put this. Let me see. Let me go to pattern 1. Pattern 2. So the snare hits right there. So what we can do is we can do a hi-hat roll. So what we'll do is we'll extend these out and we'll cut them into segments. So now I just turned 1 snare. I turned 2 snares because these were 2 separate snares, which were normally like this. I made them longer, and then I just cut them into segments. And what that does is it creates a hi-hat roll, which sounds like this. Which is what you hear in most trap songs. Like, for example, if I wanted another hi-hat roll, I can make it here. And once again, you make the chord long, then you chop it. And if I want, I can make this one go from quieter to louder. So that's sort of how the hi-hats work in the beat. We'll delete all those. Come over here to pattern 1 and just copy over to pattern 2. I'm just going to kind of show you over here how everything's been going. So this is kind of sort of how I got the idea down. Okay, and then I want to add in a rim shot because I like rim shots. So a rim shot is just, it's usually what people put right before the snare. So it kind of just adds in a little bit, it fills in this empty space. So that's without the snare, and we add in the snare. Make sure it's all the way up in volume. So you can kind of hear it's basically a higher pitched snare just to kind of fill in that space. So then, after I got all my drums down, I added in a new instrument, which is this instrument right here. It is a soft piano. So kind of like a dreamy piano. So I created this pattern right here, which is what I'll show you. I created this pattern right here. and paste that over into pattern 2. We'll put it over here alone. I'll show you what it sounds like. So I made this kind of dreamy sound with it. Here, we'll add a pattern so I can make it separate. Put it over here with the beat alone. So this is what this sounds like. So I made a melody within a melody. So if I took out, you know, this C. Whoops. I just deleted the whole thing. Give me 1 second. Copy. Paste. So if I come in here and delete this C and this D and this G, it sounds cool, but if I add in like a C right here, you know, and then the G, then it creates a melody within the melody. And it just repeats. So typically when I'm making a beat, whenever I'm making the pattern for the melody, it'll start off as 4 bars, depending on the size of the loop, and you just copy and paste it over and tweak it a little bit. So I kind of went in here and I just kind of wanted to make it dreamy. Yeah, that's what I got so far, so we'll continue where I left off, kind of sort of fill you in. I know it's a little long, but some of you guys are interested in this, so we'll go ahead and delete these patterns because we do not need them. Delete. And I use these colors to just tell the difference. So this is the normal pitch, this green one, this blue one is the lower pitch, and this red one is the higher pitch, in which I can mute those. Now you can hear the bass. Making a beat, this is how I start off. A lot of people start off making beats very differently, but I start off and just mash everything together so I can hear it all at once. So this is not what the end result is going to look like. This is always how I start off my beat, with the loops, and then I have all my drums and everything in one spot. So it sounds very chaotic, but it kind of gives me a feel of the flow I want to go for. So then what I can do, whenever I'm done with everything, what I'll do is so all these instruments are on one line. Like I can't add snares or hi-hats anywhere because it's all in one pattern. So what I can do is I can split this by the channel. And what that does is that just splits up each one of the instruments. So now if I just want to add the kick here and the snare here and the clap here, it'll be like that, or the rim shot over here, instead of having to have them everywhere. I just have it in that like the beginning because it makes it a little bit easier for me. Alright, so now we'll go ahead and add stuff in. So probably what I wind up doing. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll make a copy of this. I'll clone it. Then what we're going to do is we're going to make a number 5. What this will do is allow us to add some reverb. Sound like it's far away, like distant, so dreamy. It sounded sort of like an intro. And what we can do is we can come in here and these show the sound, so we can EQ it. So I can control what it sounds like. Or quieter. And since it's only going to be an intro, we'll cut it off at 4. We don't want to make the intro, 13-second song, so we'll probably cut it off at about 6 seconds, which will be bar 4, so we'll just cut it off right here. Boom. Cut that off. We'll bring this in. And you'll hear the difference. And then what we do is, instead of just leaving it like that, we'll find a transition effect. So then I got some in here. These are just... Let me see if I got... So these are all my tools and instruments and whatnot, what I have to use. I think there's some in here. That one's awful. Well, so we'll use this one. Then what we can do is... So it just gives it a little subtle sound to kind of transition into this. Then we can start adding in all the instruments and whatnot. So I'm kind of just making things different lengths and whatnot, and now we'll add in the deep part right here. We don't want too much dead space, because then the beat will be really long if we just leave in like a large portion. We'll go ahead and add in the riser down here as well. Come in here as well. Let me just quickly, we want to move all of these down right there, because we want to leave space for a higher pitched one in case we want to use that later on. It just makes it look you can hear this coming. It's subtly works its way up. So you hear the deeper one very quietly. So you can kind of see it starting to come together, and then I can bring all of these over and just take out what I want. So we got this coming in, we got the bass, and we got all this. So you want to give it space to breathe right here and kind of solo out the instrument you made. So there's not much breathing right there, right? So if we bring this back a few spaces and just cut out the audio right there, it'll give it room to breathe and it'll have more of an effect. Okay, and then right here, we'll go ahead and start to transition to the beat ending. So add one more transition FX. Then we'll slowly but surely start to take out all of these instruments. So whenever we're ending the beat, we'll go ahead and take out. So what we'll do is we'll do this, and then we'll cut this in half to cut that out. And slowly you just basically want to create like a downhill climb sort of thing. So what we'll do is, first off, we're going to completely cut out the bass because we don't need bass. So we'll cut out this about here, we'll cut out this here, and then this about here, and then this about, you want the hi-hats last. We can do is we can cut this off right here at the end. We'll remove that and we'll use the same thing we used from the beginning. So we'll use this one, which sounds like it's far away. So it'll tie in with the end of the beat. So I usually start off the beat the same way. So you hear right here, it'll sound like it's distant far away. That's a beat right there, ladies and gentlemen. Autumn. Guess that's what I wanted to call it. That's what I wanted to call it from the beginning. I don't know if I like that name. I don't know. It's almost fall, and I just picture someone driving a convertible down a long, straight stretch like you see in the movies, and there's a bunch of trees. But I'm going to go ahead and play this all the way through one more time, and that'll be the beat done. So let's do it. And I'm sorry this is a long video, but I kind of, for those of you that are interested in there, I figured I'd make it for you. So let's listen to it. that's the beat right there. Well, if you guys enjoyed that, let me know. I totally didn't think about this when I first started the beat, but I will for sure do start from finish if you're interested, but kind of turn into a long video. Um, Not sure if you guys watch videos this long or whatnot, but just let me know down in the comments if you would like to see more of this type of stuff and if you're interested. And give me some feedback on the beat, constructive criticism. Tell me if you hate it. Tell me if you like it. Tell me if this need to be changed, or if you don't like this instrument in the song. Just let me know what you think. I'm by no means a professional, or I would even say I'm mediocre or average at best in making beats. I know for sure people out there could, start the same way I started and help me make beats. The reason I started was I had a friend help me out. One of my friends in high school, he started making beats and he's been making them for years. And he's amazing at what he does. And he just, gives me he gave me the rundown on how to make beats and whatnot. And I, started to do stuff on my own. And I would show it to him like I just showed you guys right now. I'd show him all this and he would be like, change this, change that. The reason for this is because this, blah, blah, blah. Because he knows music theory and whatnot, which I have. If you ask me what is music theory, I would not be able to answer that question at all. I'm telling you guys. So if you're interested in this sort of stuff and want to get into it, don't hesitate. I don't know anything about music theory. I didn't know anything about music. I never took a music class in my life. I played the recorder in like middle school. So, but appreciate everybody. Let me know what you think of the song, and I'll see y'all around the stream and whatnot and future YouTube videos. So I'll see you guys later, all right? Peace.